Hello. I am back for your weekly episode of the Susanne McAllister podcast. I'm the founder of the International Anxiety Academy, and I'll be launching a new course just for you in August. So if you are somebody that has anxiety, that wants to really regulate that anxiety naturally, or if your child has anxiety, you're in the right spot here. And I'll be giving you some tips today on how to feel a little bit safer and make yourself or your child or your teenager, because they don't want to be called children, feel more safe. So this is Susanne McAllister. I'm your host. And if you listen to my podcast, you probably know me already. And if you don't, and you're watching my new YouTube channel, this is me. I've been a therapist for many years, clinical hypnotherapy, counseling, psychotherapy, also do some healing modalities, mindfulness, yoga teacher, neo teacher, Reiki master. So all the things, all the good things that are out. I probably studied a little bit on everything, how to make yourself feel better, how to deal with things in life and all the issues that come with it. And that is because I'm very good at helping others, and I had to walk my own talk many a times in my life. So I published a few books on different subject matters. The one that is for young girls is As She Spreads Her Wings. That's just been released on Audible, which I'm super excited about. And yeah, I'm really happy that you can listen to it. Sorry, it's just I think it's on for $6. It's an hour, and it has a lot of wisdom in there. If you have a young girl in your care or know a young girl, you can gift her that for some quick knowledge on how to manage life better and relationships better and choices. Anyhow, today I'm here to talk a little bit about how to feel safer and what is actually going on, because we are, when we're in anxiety, we are in fight or flight, freeze or fawn mode, and which are the things that keep our cortisol level and our anxiety level high. And I just want to talk about 3 little tips on how to feel a little bit safer today. So let me just talk about that a little bit. So what's actually going on so we can manage our own stress? So if you're a parent of a child that's anxious, before managing your child's stress, you probably guess it, it's very important that you manage your own stress. What is actually going on? Because if you are completely agitated and irritated, you're super stressed, many parents of anxious children have anxiety themselves. And so it's very important to check in with yourself first. What's going on in your own life? What's going on with your own stress levels? And maybe rate them on a scale from 1 to 10, because it's very hard if you are on a stress level of 10 to manage your child's anxiety effectively. So checking in and seeing what's going on with you. And then mindfulness. So I'll teach you a couple of quick things here. So one is your belly breath. So, well, of course you can't do that when you drive a car. So find a spot. It's like putting one hand on your stomach and the other hand on your belly, just really breathing and checking in with your heart and checking in with your gut feelings. It's like, what's going on in your life? What's going on in your heart? What's going on in your stomach? Is it turning over? Is it anxious? And then just really breathing in. And we breathe in for 4, and then we exhale for 5. And so when we exhale, the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that keeps us calmer. So when we breathe out longer than we breathe in, we're actually calming that nervous system down. So this is why we do that. We do that in box breathing, where we breathe in for 4 and we breathe out for 5, then we hold for 4 and then we breathe in for 5, and then we try and make this longer and longer. So one is really just checking in, hand on heart. You can nearly do that anywhere, just like checking in with your heart. How anxious do I feel as a parent? And hand on your tummy, because that's where your gut feeling, your tummy, that's where your emotions often are, and what is it that you're hoping to achieve. What's your goal that you have with your child right now? How can you keep your child calmer? How can you keep yourself calmer? And another one, if you're somewhere where this is safe, and you might be like at home with your child, you might be in lockdown, as we have just been now here on the Sunshine Coast. You can just squeeze your body. So that comes from progressive muscle relaxation. Use that in hypnotherapy as well. So squeeze every muscle in your body. Use that in yoga as well. So lie on the floor and we systematically squeeze every muscle. We'll start maybe on the left leg and then the right leg, and holding the tension, squeezing the buttocks, squeezing the back, squeezing the tummy, squeezing the chest, squeezing the arms and the fists. And then you squeeze your face. I'm not doing this now, but squeezing every muscle and just hold it. And then let it go, release. And if you do that 3 times, and if you do that with your child, you just get them to squeeze and then to relax. That is a very, very effective technique that you can use to really feel relaxation and calm returning to your body and to your mind, because you're using your mind, you're engaging the counting, you're engaging the body, you're engaging the muscles, and you're engaging your like all your senses with that. And if you do that with your child as well, that might be a little bit of a fun bit, let's do the squeeze, let's do the lemon squeeze, and that's a really, really good one. So that's like 2 little techniques that you can use when anxiety is high, when you're at home, or when you have a moment to do that. The breathing and the check-in, you can do this even at the supermarket, and just find a moment or a little corner to calm down. And tip number 1 is how to learn your triggers. So shopping centers, talking about that. Shopping centers are big anxiety triggers. Like, they trigger me. Like, you would hardly see me unless it's an emergency and I'm running out of something. You would never see me on a Saturday morning at the shopping center, because not nice. It's winter here, and this is why I'm in front of the fireplace, because it was really cold. And I'm like, come here to the fireplace. So you'd never see me on Saturday morning crazy shopping, because for me, shopping centers, big anxiety triggers. It's the same for a lot of kids. That's why a lot of kids, they just really play up in a shopping center. It's all this, the parents, they're on a mission to do this and this and this, and the child is on a completely different mission. Looking at this and looking at something that you're not interested in, and then asking you for all the things that they want to have that you don't want to buy for them. And then all the energy of all the people out there, the rush. So know your triggers. If your trigger is that you do the shopping when you don't have a lot of time on a Saturday morning, or when you come from work and the shops are only open another 15 minutes and you have to drag the kids along, is there a different way to do that? Can you do online shopping where the groceries are delivered to your house? Can you do it on a Saturday morning as soon as the shops open, when you're like at a rest and there's not so many people? So finding a plan, finding a strategy. And so that's the other thing as well. So it's like, one is like modeling what's going on. And when we're stressed, so stress is a normal thing in life, isn't it? So how we as parents and how we as people model that to our children and to ourselves as well is super important. So the stress tolerance, how do we do this? Do we melt? Do we start yelling at people? Do we start to shake? That's what your child sees. That's how we model it, and our children do the things that we do so often. The good things, and unfortunately the bad things as well. So explain to your child and to yourself, like acknowledging it and naming it. It's like, oh wow, I feel really short of breath here, going in here, because we're like so on a mission to accomplish and to do the things that we want to do, that we sometimes forget to really check in. So acknowledge what's going on, what's the feeling, what's going on for yourself. So and explain your feeling to yourself. It's like, wow, okay, I feel very stressed out right now because the person, beeped the horn at me in the car park. I've got so many things to do. Maybe there's money stress, maybe there's time stress. Maybe you didn't have the best, the best morning with your partner. So all the things that are going on without going into much details. But yeah, and then make a plan how you're gonna deal with this. What do you need? Do you need some breathing? Do you need to sit in the car? Do you need to put the music on, have a loud song? Do you need to dance around the house, have a song, have a dance, and just dispel the energy and see how you can make this more positive and shift that anxious mode that you might be in, that your child might be in. So making this little plan. And also know when to disengage, know when to say, no, we have to leave this shopping center now. I'm good. Like we bought like the essential things. Let's go to a park. We just need to run around. We need to be out in nature. So know when to disengage, know when to step away from toxic situations, from situations that make things only worse. And that's a big one as well with anxiety. Sometimes my anxiety clients, they are stuck with toxic friendships, with toxic relationships, because they are too anxious to speak their mind, to engage in a dialogue, to get their needs met. And therefore they're like stuck in a relationship that they don't want to be in. They might be stuck with friendships where they are the ones that give all the time, and the other person doesn't make any effort at all. And then they're too scared to say no. They don't know how to set boundaries. That makes them even more anxious. So they're stuck in a vicious cycle. And that happens also when you're a parent. So know when to disengage, know when to step away, and know your support system. You really need a support system. I'm going to invite you soon. I'll be running some webinars in a few weeks when everything is ready and set up, and I'll be inviting you to them as well, just teaching you some more of the techniques that I talk about in depth. So I'm going to have a masterclass coming up. It's going to be absolutely free for my listeners here and for people that watch my YouTube channel. So, but make sure that you get on my email list, and you can do that by going to SuzanneMcAllister.com, going to my website, signing up for either for the 3 or for the 5 videos, the free video series. So one is if you are a parent of an anxious child, you can sign up to the 3-part free video series. And the other one is if you're an anxious person, you can get a 5-part free video series from me. That also means that you're on my email list, which means you'll be the first one to know when the free masterclass is launching for you. Because I really want to get into teaching you some interactive stuff and just teaching you some of the things that I teach my clients all the time. So it's going to be an hour, or might be even a little bit longer, and you're going to learn some amazing tools and the missing link that nobody talks about with anxiety. So yeah, make sure you get on to my email list so that I can invite you to the masterclass. It's going to come up in the next few weeks. So that's it today from me. So this is just how to make yourself and how to make your child feel a little bit safer in their emotions. So really rating what's going on for you. Let me summarize this. Where are you checking in with yourself? Where are you on your anxiety levels on a scale from 1 to 10? And if you're at 10, do not try and go anywhere. Don't go shopping. If you can avoid things and you can get yourself into a calm environment, good idea. Checking in, manage to stress with mindfulness, doing one hand on your heart, checking your breathing, and really breathing deep into your belly where the other hand really moves. So that diaphragm, I can't say it, a diaphragm, dealing with it's like where your diaphragm comes up and down. It's not diaphragm breathing. Probably wrong, but there you go. You know what I mean. So belly breathing, where your hand comes out as you breathe in and it moves in as you exhale. and checking in with your heart and moving the hand that's on your belly. So deep breathing, hand on your stomach, hand on your heart. And if you're somewhere where you can do this, just squeezing every muscle and doing that 3 times and holding it for as long as you can, and then letting go and relaxing, which is a fun thing to do for yourself and also for your child. And the second tip is to really learn your triggers, what triggers you, wherever you go, what's going on. And so one of the things that coming up in my free to be course is also where I teach you supplements. I teach you about which foods aggravate anxiety, which food really help to calm your mind. So it's like an all holistic coaching program. But that's further on in August. First of all, free masterclass is coming up because I want to teach some really cool stuff to you. So get on that email list. Hope you enjoyed this. Learning your triggers, learning what is it that sets you off, what is it that sets your child off. And I'm not saying trying to avoid all the triggers, but be really conscious about it. Okay, so if your child threw the biggest anxiety, tantrum, panic attack going on a Saturday morning to a certain shop, then it's like this little bit of exposure therapy. We all need to manage our stress and the stress tolerance, but how can we do that? Can we find a shop that's less busy? Can we do it on, I don't know, like earlier in the morning when there's not so many people there? So be strategic about how you expose yourself and your child to the stresses that cause your anxiety, and know when to disengage, know when to step away. Stepping away, all right, know when to cut things off, and also have your support team. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, I do only take 5 new clients every 2 months. That's because otherwise I'm like booked out. You can get on a call with me, get in touch with me, hit reply on the emails that I send out, or find me on my website and contact me. Otherwise, I am here to support you with the channel, and I'm here to support you with my podcast. And I'll be launching the International Anxiety Academy in August, which I'm super excited about. All right, that's it from me for today. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend.